Hi, I'm Gary Smith, GMB Scotland Secretary, and this is a short message for our members in engineering construction and in shipbuilding. I just want to talk to you briefly about pay, conditions and developing skill shortages in traditional boilermaker roles, steel trades and thermal insulators. Over the past week, as the pandemic started to lift, I've had the opportunity to meet more members in workplaces, and I'm starting to hear about skill shortages developing in many skilled trades. This is incredible, given that even the official figures are that we have something like 14% unemployment in Scotland, and yet we have employers now talking about skill shortages. And I think the reason that we are seeing skill shortages develop is because employers' organisations like the ECIA failed to train craft apprentices. And I know many of you as shop stewards have been campaigning for years to get more craft apprenticeships. Employers in shipbuilding have done the same. And of course, politicians have failed to plan properly for the future. We knew the Royal Navy was going to have to be renewed. We know that we desperately need new ferries to service the Scottish Isles, and there has been a failure on the part of the employers and politicians to plan for that future. Though more sinister, we think, is that some of the employers, like the ECIA, were always quite happy to have boom and bust with work, to have feast and famine, because they like to keep you, our members, hungry. They like to try and condition you over pay and conditions in the industry. And what we're starting to see, I think, is employers' attempts to de-skill in parts of the industry, and that has to be resisted. And of course, the old reliance, the employers try to exploit migrant workers as well. And we'll be saying more about that in the coming weeks. And let me just say about equalities and migrant workers, because I know that so many of you as shop stewards in the engineering and construction sector have championed the cause of migrant workers, ensuring that there are proper audits taking place with their employers and that they receive the proper pay and conditions, the union rates for their jobs. And thank you for all that you have done in supporting migrant workers and challenging exploitation. Now, aside from this developing skill shortage, we also have this crazy situation where TICA are trying to renege on the pay deal, and the ECIA are saying there's going to be a 0% pay offer. We cannot and we should not accept any employer reneging on pay deals, and neither will we accept pay freezes. When there is a skill shortage developing, it's more important than ever that trade unions are pushing and campaigning and fighting to get decent pay rises for our members. But of course, we also need to be campaigning for craft apprenticeships in engineering construction, in shipbuilding, and indeed across the traditional boilermaker roles. The union, as you know, is only as strong as our members. The union is our members. So I encourage everybody to campaign and to fight, to oppose pay freezes when employers are trying to impose them, to campaign against de-skilling when employers try that on, and to campaign to ensure that we do have sufficient craft apprenticeships to secure the future for everyone. Thanks for supporting your trade union.